Hey everybody, Jeff Morrell here. Hope you are all having a great day, a great week. Mary Sekowski. Mary, thanks for being on here with me.
Hi,
Totally
thanks for
appreciate it.
having me.
So yeah, Mary is a realtor here in Colorado, up in Woodland Park, so about a half an hour from me here in Colorado Springs, but has a great business. She was actually number one at the company where she was at before, and has been here with EXP for just over a year. Just had her 1 year anniversary here just recently. So anyway, congratulations on that. You had a good first year over here. Things are
Yeah,
good.
yeah, it's been a great year. I've really enjoyed being with EXP. I've enjoyed the doors that have opened up within my career,
Cool.
and expansion and creating more of a work-life balance that I've always wanted, and I'm looking forward to continuing in that direction with growth.
Talk about that for a second, because I think it's one of the hardest things for realtors is the work-life balance. I know I was horrible at the beginning when I started this thing, real estate 20 years ago. But
Yeah.
tell your story. How long you been a realtor? Right?
So I've been in real estate for over 8 years here in Colorado. I started with a small firm. Well, right after I got my license, the larger firm that I was with went out of business. So I stuck with my good friend who started a small firm, and we were able to grow that company for several years, which was great, incredible experience. But I was really drawn to looking at something that could help me grow more than what I could do within the local parameters of what the company here could offer. Although I learned a lot and I grew a lot, EXP offered me something that that company could not, primarily in the flexibility of being able to work in different locations. The virtual aspect of the cloud-based office was huge. For me, being able to work in different states, I travel a lot, and being able to work effectively from those places was an incredible benefit. And so with that, I've been able to not only improve my own business, but I've been able to expand into developing a team, which is also beginning to see a lot of success for my agents.
Okay. Where else are you licensed besides Colorado?
Well, currently just Colorado.
Okay.
I plan to eventually, and this was kind of the dilemma I was in with my last company, is eventually be licensed here and in Hawaii as my kids get bigger and get out of school. We want to live probably half the year there, and so being able to step into that seamlessly without having to join a new firm or start a new company was a tremendous draw for me.
Okay. Okay. What would you say to somebody who, because again, there is that concern for some people. They love being in the office, or they feel like they need to be in the office. And, with EXP not really having any, actual offices as a company, there are agents out there that have office space that they rent or whatever. And of course we have contracts with Regis, we can use those anytime. But what would you say, for somebody who they feel like, man, I need to be around people, and I just don't see how EXP could work. Can you talk about that for a second? Because I know that was a big thing for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I am a very people-oriented person. I like the social aspect of this career. But what it's allowed me to do is really focus on some social activities around the community that I live in and I work in. It's opened up doors for networking. I do have plans for and am going to have an office soon that I can meet clients at, my agents can meet clients at, but not having to go there all the time, not having to make that the place where I can't be effective and I can't be productive if I'm not there, is kind of liberating. And the cloud-based, EXP world, I walk into the Colorado office and Josie always says, "Hi, Mary," the second I walk in, and it's just as though I'm walking in, and that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And once you get used to it, it's a really neat, innovative way of doing business, and then I can do it from anywhere, which is huge.
Right. No, very cool. What if you could go back and how long you been in real estate? What did you tell me? How
Eight
long?
years.
8 years. If
Mhm.
you could go back to say, that 1 or 2 year old realtor, go back
Mhm.
to 1 or 2 years, knowing what you know now, what would you say to yourself back then? Here's something that, wow, something that you've learned that you could share with yourself if you had to go back, if you could go back. What would you do different?
Um, well, I would say knowing, if I could go back, knowing the work-life balance challenges, being able to find a way to be more effective in some automation and communication and development is good. I think I was off to a really good start those first couple of years. I found somebody, it doesn't matter what company they're with, I found somebody who was very knowledgeable and could teach me a lot about the industry. And so I think attaching myself to that person for the first few years of my career in real estate was pivotal. I learned so much, and it really allowed me to come into EXP with a lot of confidence that I could take this as an individual agent, I could grow it, and I could be successful. And so that's what I hope, to do as I'm bringing some new agents in to EXP and just getting their license and develop them the same way.
Right. I know one of the you heard it. Are you hearing it?
I think it's on your end.
Is it? Yeah. Maybe it's I know when I showed you EXP, the stock piece was, that really, you have a background in banking, did some banking stuff. Talk a little bit about that, because that is such a nice bonus that's there for people.
Absolutely.
It really sets us apart from other companies. What was that like for you? What's that been like for you? Like just even having that piece of it?
Yeah, it's tremendous. I do come from a finance background and banking, and so I know the value and the automatic investment plan in a career like real estate, where your job is 100% commission based. You get a check, and then you have to do something with it. It's hard for a lot of people to take a portion of that check and put it somewhere else, for long-term savings. And the fact that through EXP that can be done automatically. We're buying stock at a 10% discount, regardless of what the stock is trading at on that day, is a huge benefit. And it fills in that gap of retirement savings or just long-term investment savings that most of us aren't doing. A lot of us aren't doing, and it'll really pay off in the long run. So that was very attractive to me.
Very cool. One of the things I see, as agents, we make a lot of money. We can do very well with this, but we also are really good at spending it.
Yeah.
And not saving it for the future and being ready for the future, being ready for those downtimes, the hard times.
Well, that's the thing, the out of sight, out of mind concept. If it's never in your hands to begin with, even though, it's in your account right away when it hits that, but when it's not in your hands to begin with, it's a whole lot easier to just get it out of sight, out of mind, and just let it grow.
Right.
And in our industry, that's not happening enough. So EXP is definitely doing a good thing there.
Very cool. Talk about Icon. You just said Icon. Explain to everybody what that is and what that means and how it works. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, Icon was something that I knew would be a very important thing for me to try to achieve, set my goals to achieve within the first year. Primarily, it's a financial benefit, of the commission split that we pay, to EXP up to $16,000. We get all that back in company stock once we meet a certain threshold of productivity throughout that year. And that's a tremendous reward, because if you're meeting that threshold, you're working hard, and that hard work is rewarded. And then, hopefully, once again, reiterating the out of sight, out of mind part, it's sitting there. Let's hope the EXP stock will continue to grow, which all indicators says it will, and it'll be a nice nest egg in the future. And so it's helping agents and myself in particular, having made the Icon status this first year and hopefully subsequent years, make that a tremendous, benefit in the future.
Very cool. Let's wrap it up with this. 5 years from now, where do you want to be with your business?
5 years from now, I'd like to have a solid team here in Colorado. I'd like to have at least 7 or 8 agents that are established and productive in their careers. I'd also, at that point, like to have a team started in Hawaii. I'd like to have people there that are rocking and rolling with their real estate business, so that if I step away, I can still be available. The EXP platform is conducive for communication around the world, so I can travel. I have a little bit of a gypsy soul, and I like to travel. So being able to do that and not being tied to my phone, not being tied to my email so much, and just be able to hand it off is a huge goal of mine.
Very cool. Well, you're on track to hit all that. Keep going because
Yeah.
you're doing awesome. So anyway, very cool. Any last thing you want to share before we wrap it up?
Jeff, I'm really thankful for you. And I'm really thankful that, that you initially introduced me to EXP. I'm really thankful for the guidance that you've given. You haven't just brought me into the company and let me, let me run free without any help when needed. So, as a mentor in that sense, I really appreciate that. And I have no doubt you're doing the same for everybody that's come into the company, and that's wonderful. And thank you for that.
I think I feel passionate about sharing it with people because I know what it can do. Having been in the business for 20 years, and I used to just dread Januaries, because it's like, oh my God, our team just did 200 deals this year.
Yeah.
We're winning awards. We got trophies up here on the shelf, whatever. Like, but it's like, oh my God, I'm right back at zero. I got to do it all over again.
Yeah.
And just having multiple streams of income here, doing what we're going to do anyway.
Mm-hmm.
That's been huge, and then seeing where that can go. And I'm passionate about helping agents just at least see this model. It's up to them whether they want to do anything with it or not, but to get paid more money from what you're going to do anyway.
Yeah.
To me, it just, and then down the road, 3 to 5 years, you at least have options. You could build a traditional team like what you're doing. You could also take that and expand that out and build what I like to call modern team with EXP. Still have your traditional team that you're doing deals right there in Woodland Park and maybe Hawaii, going back and forth. But now you have a modern team that expands. There's no borders on that.
Yeah.
And you're paid every time those agents have closings as well, plus the stock bonuses and everything. And now you've got some options a few years from now. I could do 50 deals a year if I want to, or I could do one every other month, refer all the rest out, but make more money than the person doing 50 deals a year. Now I got my time back.
Right.
To me, that's huge, being able to get that. And, if you want to take a month and take your kids and go travel somewhere and your husband and, go to Europe for a month or go to wherever for a month or 2 months or 3 months and just be able to do that and not have to just be so like on the phone every other day or on your laptop in the hotel room while you're traveling on vacation. Like this, I think gives you that option to not have to do that. And I love that piece of it,
Absolutely. Yeah. I definitely have plans to want to grow that aspect of things. And, I'm a slow and steady when it comes to that part of the company I'm finding in myself. It's hard for me to dive right in and just be that person. But I do want to have a healthy number of people that can make that business well-rounded. So.
Very cool. Well, good. Well, I appreciate your time, guys. Thank you very much for getting on here. I know you're busy, but thanks for getting on, taking a look at this. We're, keep coming back. We're going to be doing more and more of this stuff. If you want to find out more, you'll see it in the comments. You see here at the bottom of the screen here. You can go to jeffmorrell.work and find out more information on what we're doing over here. But you owe it to yourself, your family, to definitely see why 1,000 agents a week are moving into EXP, whatever. So, Mary, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you. Have a good day.
Your week. Okay.
Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.